Imagine a young man whose life burned brighter than almost anyone in Hollywood, yet ended before he could even see his 25th birthday, a man who broke every rule, challenged every idea of what a movie star should be, and became a legend without trying. A star who made only 3 major films, yet changed cinema forever. Today, we dive into the powerful, emotional, and unforgettable story of James Dean, the boy who became a symbol of rebellion, vulnerability, and raw truth. This is not just the story of a movie star, it is the story of a cultural revolution. Welcome to the life of the one and only James Dean. James Byron Dean was born on February 8, 1931, in the small town of Marion, Indiana. His parents, Winton and Mildred Dean, were hardworking and hopeful people who believed in giving their son a stable life. When James was still very young, his father moved the family to California for a new job as a dental technician. At first, life seemed normal and full of possibility. But everything changed when James was just 9 years old. His mother, whom he loved deeply, became seriously ill and passed away from cancer. Her death shattered James's world. He adored her, and losing her so young left a wound in his heart that never truly healed. After her death, Winton felt unable to raise James alone, so he sent him back to Indiana to live with his aunt and uncle on their farm. The farm life was simple, but inside James, a storm was always brewing. He was sensitive, intelligent, emotional, and full of questions about life and people. Growing up in a quiet town, he often felt misunderstood. But he also developed strong values, discipline from farm chores, independence from loneliness, and creativity from spending hours observing people, nature, and emotions. In school, James began showing interest in acting, drawing, and performing. His teachers noticed he had something different, a spark in his eyes, a natural talent, and a presence that stood out even when he wasn't trying. He loved playing sports too, especially basketball, and was known for his fearless energy on the court. But his real gift was in expressing emotions. He could make people feel things deeply without saying much, something that would later become the foundation of his acting career. After finishing high school, James moved back to California to live with his father again. He enrolled at Santa Monica College, then transferred to UCLA, originally planning to study law. But life had a different path in mind for him. One day, he auditioned for a campus play, and the moment he stepped on stage, people knew they had just witnessed something extraordinary. It was clear, James Dean was born to perform. Acting wasn't just a talent for him, it was therapy, expression, release, and the only way he truly felt understood. He soon dropped out of UCLA to pursue acting full-time. His father strongly disapproved, and this created emotional distance between them. Feeling alone, James struggled financially, working odd jobs like parking cars, waiting tables, and doing small TV commercials just to survive. But he never gave up. His dream was bigger than his challenges. James eventually moved to New York City, the heart of American theater. There, he studied at the legendary Actors Studio under the guidance of Lee Strasberg, the master of method acting. Method acting was intense, emotional, and deeply personal. It required actors to live their characters' lives, feel their emotions, and use their own pain as fuel. For James, who carried a lifetime of unresolved hurt inside him, this method fit perfectly. He absorbed the techniques like a sponge, crafting a style that felt painfully real. People who watched him act felt like they were watching truth, not performance. In New York, he began landing roles in TV dramas, stage plays, and small films. His reputation grew quickly. Directors and producers said he was unpredictable but brilliant, raw talent that could not be taught. He had a presence that no one could ignore. His eyes told stories, his silence spoke louder than words, his movements on screen felt unscripted and alive. Then, in 1954, his life changed forever. Hollywood director Elia Kazan cast him in East of Eden. It became James Dean's first major film, and the world instantly recognized him as something special. He played Cal Trask, a misunderstood son desperate for love and approval. The role mirrored many of James's own emotional struggles, and his performance was so real that audiences felt they were watching a young man reveal his soul on screen. He cried, he rebelled, he loved, he suffered, and viewers connected deeply. His performance earned him an Academy Award nomination, making him the first actor in history to be nominated posthumously. After East of Eden, James Dean became Hollywood's lightning bolt. His next film, Rebel Without a Cause, released in 1955, cemented his status as an icon. In this movie, he played Jim Stark, a troubled teenager searching for meaning, love, and identity in a confusing world. Everything about the role felt authentic, from the way he wore his famous red jacket to his emotional vulnerability and simmering anger. Young people around the world saw themselves in him. Adults were shocked by how honestly the film portrayed teenage struggles. The movie created a new era of youth culture, and James Dean became the face of rebellion, sensitivity, and truth. His final film, Giant, showed yet another side of his talent. Acting alongside Elizabeth Taylor and Rock Hudson, he transformed himself into Jet Rink, a poor ranch worker who becomes a wealthy yet troubled oil tycoon. The role demanded emotional range, physical transformation, and depth, three things James mastered effortlessly. His performance was haunting, intense, fearless, and unforgettable. It earned him another Academy Award nomination, making him the only actor ever nominated twice after death. Even beyond his films, James Dean had a style that made him a legend. He wore simple clothes, jeans, boots, white t-shirts, leather jackets, but he wore them with attitude and authenticity. His messy hair, soft voice, emotional eyes, and confident walk made him a fashion icon whose influence still shapes style today. Brands copy his look, actors study his performances, and fans all over the world still admire his aura of coolness mixed with vulnerability. But behind the fame, James struggled with loneliness, emotional scars, and the pressure of sudden stardom. He was known for being quiet, thoughtful, and often lost in his own world. He loved jazz music, poetry, photography, and driving fast cars. Racing was one of his greatest passions. Speed gave him a sense of freedom, an escape from the emotional storms inside his heart. He became deeply involved in motorsports, owning several racing cars and competing professionally whenever he could. However, this passion also brought danger. On September 30, 1955, James Dean was driving his Porsche 550 Spider, heading to a race in Salinas, California. With him was his mechanic, Rolf Wutherick. That evening, on a quiet stretch of highway, a car unexpectedly turned left into James's lane. His Porsche crashed violently into the other vehicle. The impact was devastating. James Dean died instantly at just 24 years old. The news shocked the world. Hollywood mourned. Fans cried. Directors and actors felt the loss of a rising genius whose journey had barely begun. In death, James Dean became immortal. His three films continue to inspire generations of actors, artists, musicians, and dreamers. His image, youthful, emotional, rebellious, became a symbol of individuality, freedom, and authenticity. People around the world still place posters of him on their walls, watch his films, study his acting techniques, and celebrate his legacy. No actor in history has achieved so much with so little time. His influence stretches across decades, shaping Hollywood, pop culture, fashion, and filmmaking. James Dean wasn't just an actor, he was a revolution in human form. A reminder that even short lives can leave everlasting footprints. His vulnerability became strength. His silence spoke louder than long speeches. His pain became art. His life, though brief, changed cinema forever. And this is the timeless story of James Dean, the young man who lived fast, felt deeply, and became a legend who will never be forgotten. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the life of James Dean, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more powerful celebrity histories. This is Celebrity History CHV, bringing you the stories behind the stars who shaped our world. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.